Welcome to our podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Mandy.
And we are drama bonded. And today we are going to talk about hometowns and overnights and the Love Island reunion.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
So much. When you texted me last night and kind of laid it out for me, I saw my life flash before my eyes and I was like, how am I going to do this? So I woke up really early this morning to get some time in watching TV.
That's some dedication.
Yeah. This is one of the most fun things that I've got going for me. So while sometimes I think the podcast can make it feel like work because there's a little bit of a timeline, it's still so fun.
It holds us accountable to things we enjoy.
Yeah. I have to spend time watching reality TV.
Self-care.
Absolutely. So, do we want to start with hometowns and overnights?
Well, first we have to do a candy review.
That's right.
Candy reviews with Candy and Jess.
My friend Julia goes to China for work a lot, and she brought us home some weird Skittles sucker things.
Yeah, they looked like little boba cups or smoothies, kind of.
And we think the flavors that we tried were banana, pina colada, and maybe lychee peach.
Yeah. Yeah, I ripped that banana out of Saul's hands. I was like, well, this one's mine. It was delicious.
Yeah, I thought the flavors were really good.
They were really good.
And I'm not really a hard sucker candy fan.
I'm not either, but I did really enjoy those.
I will admit the only reason I like Tootsie Pops is
The Tootsie
the
Roll
labor for the Tootsie Roll.
Absolutely. Well, and you get that little crust right before you bite into the Tootsie Roll, which is why the shelled Tootsie Rolls are the best. But yeah.
I also think there's a nostalgia.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought these were good. I would eat them.
I would too. Thank you for bringing us candy from a different country. That's the most fun.
Yeah, we'll take a picture of the packaging, and if you're ever in China, pick some up.
Absolutely, especially if you have a sweet tooth. They hit that really sugary spot in a way that I think sometimes suckers don't, but candy can, because it's got more complex flavor, and these suckers had more complex flavor than a lot of suckers.
Neither of us really understood the Skittles connection.
Correct. Unclear.
But good.
So good. Yeah. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay. The Bachelorette.
Dude, I don't even know how we're at hometowns with these men.
I know. I'm trying to recall everything I watched this morning. And yeah, it is wild to me that these are also the 4 people.
I just realized as, these men are talking to their families and talking to Jen, we have never had a hometown episode where people feel farther behind. They're still figuring out if they're falling for her or not.
Yeah, and you're introducing her to your families. Get out of town.
I just felt like what am I watching? The whole time I was like, what am I watching?
The only one that I really did enjoy actually was Devin's.
Well, I feel like at least in the hometown date, it's changed a lot in the overnight dates.
I was going to say, I felt good this morning about it. And after fantasy suites or overnights, damn.
Yeah, but during hometowns, without even seeing overnights, I thought her connection with Devin looked the strongest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like her body language with him is the strongest. I feel like they have the best chemistry. I feel like he is the most earnest, and she seems to be the most relaxed with him.
Yeah, she seems to really, I think she has something with each of these other 3 men, but specifically with Devin, she has everything she has with each individual guy.
Yes, that's
collectively
a great way to
with
say
Devin.
it.
She's got the humor that I think her and Jeremy really share. I think the easiness of hanging out the way that she does with Jonathan. And it does seem to me like she's into Devin physically.
Well, Devin was the first guy that she told that she was falling for, right?
I don't remember that. And you could be right. I do not have an ear for details. Never ask me details.
Because I feel like he either told her that he was in love with her or said he was falling for her, and she said it back. And I remember feeling that that was a big deal that she said it back.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have sort of felt like Devin has been, up until recently, the front runner for me. It seems like everything with Devin is easy.
Oh, yeah.
And has been.
Well, and she keeps saying in different ways that she's not used to having a man like Devin who is always kind of available and giving her the validation and giving her the reassurance and giving it's very clear that she feels secure and safe with Devin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
So I left Hometowns being like, I think it's Devin.
I did too. I was like, that like so clearly was the one. I thought the run group was really cute. I loved his dog.
I loved his dog.
I know. She came running over.
She's kind of a cute little squatty dog.
And then she was just laying there so good in the park. Chewy would be in everybody's face. Like what a good dog.
I thought the running group thing was a great date.
I love that too, because it also, one thing that always makes me nervous about people like Hometowns is the lead not getting enough time to like really meet people in this person's life, because that can dictate so much. Like if somebody has cool as shit friends, that's a green flag.
They should be a part of the hometown.
Absolutely, every time. And I don't understand why we get it sometimes and not all the time. You know whose friends I really wanted to meet? Jeremy's.
But all we got was grocery store people and randomly his aunt.
Yep.
I will say I love the animatronics though. So
oh my God, that grocery store, we are going one day. That was so cool. I want to eat all the food there. And I bet they have cool ass candy.
Of course, Juliet knew the grocery store line, but I guess it's a local chain in Connecticut called Stu Leonard's, I think.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well,
like
we're
that.
going to Connecticut.
I mean, it was like, what's that ride? They recently got rid of it in Disneyland. I mean, a lot of old Disneyland rides have animatronics, but it kind of felt like Splash Mountain grocery store edition.
Oh, yeah. Minus the racism.
Okay, minus the racism.
Totally. Yeah, I thought that was a really fun date too. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Jonathan playing lacrosse.
That was cute.
Loved that. I think that's always like, for me, always like special to like be able to share a physical sport or something like that, just because that's something that's really meaningful in my life. So I connected with that one.
I think that her and Jonathan would have a lot of extracurricular things in common.
I think so too.
Apparently, Marcus's date was so boring, there was nothing to show.
Yeah, we just went to meet his family.
Well, I'm sure they had a date, but they didn't show it.
Damn, that's right.
Yeah. Wah wah.
Yeah, that also doesn't surprise me. What was he going to have them go do? You know, he doesn't seem to have like a lot of fun. I don't know what his hobbies are. We don't know if he laughs.
We kind of needed to see him have fun.
Yeah.
Marcus is just kind of a heavy guy. And I feel like we needed to see some levity in their relationship. So I was a little bummed we didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm especially shocked watching it. And I'm surprised that I'm even saying this. But like, I'm honestly shocked that Marcus was picked over Jeremy.
I wasn't. I wanted her to pick Jeremy over Marcus, but I knew she was going to pick Marcus.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, now we know that. I think
she got really hung up on the fact that Jeremy maybe wasn't ready. And I'm like, Jen, nobody's ready.
Yeah, bad news. 0 for 4. Oh, I don't know. 1 for 4. Devin is ready, but that's the one that she seems the most reluctant to say anything to. So
I don't think Jeremy's family really helped him.
No, Jeremy's family was
I liked his family.
Yeah, I did too. It was a kind of family that would make me really uncomfortable, but I also 1,000% appreciate when these families crop up on the show, because they have a healthy level of skepticism, and it really does seem to stem from a place of just like genuine concern for both parties.
And they're not worried about not being straightforward or authentic.
Yeah. And they're just calling it like it is.
Yeah.
Like, really? You're going to do this? You feel ready for that?
Yeah. And so when Jen's like, is Jeremy ready for this? They're like, if it's the right person, maybe.
Yeah. Jeremy has given no signs of being ready.
Well, Jeremy also wasn't helping his case by being like, we have a lot of fun together.
Perpetually. Yeah. And I do think that that's something that Jen is definitely going to pick up on. Like, there isn't a lot of, like, aside from and I mean, of course, we only see what editors want us to see, or producers, but aside from the Jewish Buddhist children, we haven't really seen them have any other conversations about like that was a hypothetical, whereas like, what is life outside of the house or outside of the show? And I don't know if we've really heard them talk about that. So yeah,
Well, I mean, they did have the conversation about religion and kids. So I feel like at least we've seen some hard conversations.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like that's more than she's had with some of the other guys.
No kidding. Well, Jeremy's gone.
Yeah, I knew that Jeremy was going. I liked Jeremy. I honestly think that Jeremy, out of the 4, was probably one of the more mature options as well. So I was a little disappointed there. I think that Jeremy's family didn't really help him, but I also don't know if that made that big of a difference.
Yeah. It's always hard to tell. You would hope that families don't have that big of a sway, but also they probably do.
Because I felt like they were still supportive.
His sister, I love her. I can't get over that. It also might just be like Jeremy goggles, but
No, I loved his sister.
yeah, his mom was pretty funny too. She scares the shit out of me though. Like that would be.
Can we just talk about the avocado's eyelashes in the grocery store?
Oh yeah,
They were so long.
so long.
The most aggressive eyelashes I've ever seen.
Yeah, who designed all this? Why
I
are
don't know.
avocados sexy?
We have to go.
We have to go.
Sexy avocados.
Oh my god,
So
yes.
many cows.
Yeah, I'll look up flights. Let's just fly to Connecticut, spend a day, come back.
Well, I have been wanting to go to Vermont. Is Vermont close to Connecticut?
It's all connected over there,
I
right?
know.
Like,
I feel like we just fly to one, drive to the other.
yeah, we're good. It's not like out here where everything's so spread out and far away.
That's true. Okay.
Did any families particularly stick out for you? I know we just talked all about Jeremy's family, but like outside of that,
I liked Jonathan's family.
his mom.
His mom was great.
Oh, I loved her. Devin's family. I liked. I'm sad. I will say that I was really bummed that Marcus's foster parents didn't come, which always feels like a choice. I think Justin from Katie's season had a similar thing happen
Oof.
where his parents were just like, we're not doing this.
Yeah. I feel like he had like friends on a Zoom call.
Oh yeah,
I
that
think
was
it was
COVID.
pretty rough.
That was rough. And at least I was relieved then when we got to Marcus's house and like he seemed to have some army friends and his sister and his mentors. So,
I like the people that showed up,
I know. And I think that's
but
always,
you're right.
yeah, just like that in and of itself is always like, ugh, I don't know. You can't judge somebody based off of families because I know families aren't a great barometer for that, but they are a piece of the puzzle. And so when families don't show up, it does always make you wonder like, what's going on?
But also the fact that we know some bits and pieces of Marcus's childhood trauma, his foster parents not showing up does seem significant.
Yeah, it really does. Like, wow, this kid was literally abandoned
Yeah.
and you don't show up for him when he's doing this big life-changing thing. That's wild.
I liked his sister a lot.
She seems sweet.
She seemed let's see. She seemed like an old soul. Like I could tell she had a lot of wisdom. I could tell that she knew her brother inside and out, and I could tell she had a lot of deep concern for him based on what he's been
Oh,
through.
Yeah. And that's always hard to watch too when you see families that are genuinely concerned and just like it's not this process, it's not the lead, it's just there's some things that need to be worked on first.
Yes.
I know. It is really shocking, I think, especially just having wrapped up overnights, the situation with Marcus. Like, that is just
Okay, let's go to overnights.
okay. Yeah, because we can't even help ourselves. Nothing really to write about at hometowns. Jeremy goes home. That's a real bummer.
Okay, I guess my first question is
Uh-huh.
if we knew that Marcus was having these doubts,
Oh my God.
why
These
did
men.
why did he accept a rose at the
Hometowns.
hometown rose ceremony?
Yeah, I could not tell you. That is so frustrating to me. I'm sorry. If you are going on this show, we can argue all day, every day off the show if it should end in an engagement or not. But if you are going on the show, it fucking ends in an engagement. And if you are not ready for an engagement, do not go on the show. Do not collect a rose. Do not go on to the next group date. Like, enough.
You do not win the show. You get engaged.
I know. And sometimes it feels like, and I don't know if it's the same with the women, but I definitely feel like this with the Bachelorette version of this is that the men do sort of feel like they're
It's
trying
a competition.
to. Yes. And it is a competition with women too, but I think they're
course.
more willing to be like, this is my prize and I will stick with it. Men are sort of just like, well, yeah, I won it, but like, did I want it? I don't know.
I just wanted to win. I didn't want to be engaged.
I had dudes to beat.
I just think it's kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So we get, okay, should we save Marcus for last? I'm just mad at Marcus.
No, let's get the Marcus out of the way. Because,
Okay.
like, to be honest, I guess going into overnights. Fantasy suites. I know I'm trying to like change my language. This is overnights. It doesn't have
Okay.
to be fantasy suites.
Okay.
Working on it. But anyway, who did you view as the front runner after hometowns?
Devin.
100%.
1000%.
Yeah, no questions.
Devin.
And then she's fucking telling Marcus that she loves him. Even in the face of him being like, I don't love you.
Marcus literally gave her a breakup speech. And her response to that was, I feel like I owe it to you to tell you that I love you.
Yeah.
When Marcus was giving the breakup speech, I have to tell you guys this. Jess and I watched this together. I'm pretty sure I asked her to pause it. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Well, that was the other thing. It went on and on and on.
And we were just like, dude, just fucking tell her. Spit it out.
Yeah. What are we even doing anymore? She was so quiet and so patient. And you were like, I would have interrupted. And I'm like, yeah. Like for me, like 5 minutes ago.
Excuse me. Are you breaking up with me?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It was so bad. And I don't know. And I also just feel like uneasy by his response as well. Like that he sort of perked up after that.
After he heard her say, I love you?
Yeah. And I don't know what to make of that. There's part of me that's like, okay, maybe he is afraid to say it. And her saying that does allow him to let his guard down because we know he's got trauma, up to his eyeballs. And then, so maybe like that. But it also just sort of feels like kind of gross to me. Like, you've already said what you needed to say. Like, do you really, like, I don't know. What are we doing? I didn't
understand how we went from that speech to her saying, I love you, to an overnight.
Yeah, I am floored that I'm not though. I guess like I was telling you, I really feel like, and this is just my opinion, this is conjecture. I have nothing to base this off of. It feels to me like Jen almost believes that she can fix him, that
That's
like
what
he
I
does.
said.
Yeah, that he like love that she is like, no, deep down, he does love me. So I'm just going to go along with this.
He's just so damaged, she doesn't realize that he loves me.
Right. And so, absolutely, yes, you were right on that. And I think that is like, she really does feel like that he does love her, even though he probably doesn't.
But Jen, you deserve better. You deserve to have a man that fucking shows up and says he loves you and is able to support you in a healthy way. You shouldn't have to listen to a man tell you why he's not ready and then say you love him in hopes that you get to spend the night together.
Yeah, it feels
like she's willing to take whatever Marcus will give her, and I just don't think that's fair.
Yeah, she's settling.
And we have all done that. We have all done that for a guy where it's like, if you give me pennies, I'll take them.
Sure. Or just kind of that belief of like letting somebody kind of lead you along, or you leading yourself along, of like, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah. We've all tried to see what we want to see, and look where it got us. Does that ever work out?
When people tell you how they feel, believe them.
Yeah. Especially men with trauma.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. I am just like stunned, especially because his date was his overnight was last. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild that we go into overnights. Devin is the clear front runner, and Devin is like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And she's like, oh, I'm trying. I'm going to get there. And I'm like, how? Like, it is such a 180 from where we felt like we were with hometowns. And then for her to go tell Marcus, damn. She said that, and I, like, almost didn't believe that I heard it. I had to, like, look at you and be like,
What?
did I just hear what I thought I heard? What was that?
I mean,
Do you think she's, like, panicking because Devin's the real deal, and so she's reverting back to what's comfortable, which is toxic, unavailable men,
ooh, that's a really good point.
and that now that Devin is sort of, like, really laying it all out there, it's just, like, she doesn't quite have enough she doesn't have enough tools in her toolkit to recognize she knows she does it, but she doesn't recognize it in the moment that she's self-sabotaging.
Well, she almost basically says she is.
Right, because she's like, "I can't accept a good thing."
She's like, I recognize what a good thing you are, and I'm trying to lean into it,
But I don't want it.
and I'm just like, whatever she said to Devin, I don't remember word for word, but man, I don't really blame Devin for feeling rejected.
Yeah, actually, I was getting kind of annoyed with Devin as we were watching, but the more that I think about it, it probably also to him feels like I'm sure he senses a shift too.
Yes. I think she could have said so many things that would have given him the validation he needed. And it didn't have to literally be the words, I love you.
But I don't think she wanted to give him that validation.
I know, but I'm saying I don't blame Devin for feeling the way he's feeling because he didn't really get much from her.
No, exactly. Yeah. I'm fully on board with this now. Yes, I think that is right. And I do see that more so from Devin's perspective, sort of while like he's spiraling.
But how did we shift from like, oh, it's definitely Devin in hometowns to wait, Devin's in last place to overnights?
Devin is in last place.
Do you really think she's self-sabotaging because she doesn't know what to do with it? It's like too good, it's too stable, it's too healthy, and she's like, "Ooh, I don't know how to exist in this space. Better run to something more toxic."
I mean, I feel like I can't like I don't know what else it could be. Like I mean, I know the power of editing. We don't know the whole story, but it does feel like a complete departure from where she was at hometowns. Like fully. I don't it really is just like it's like whiplash.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I guess like in my brain the only thing I can think about is like it's definitely self-sabotage.
And Devin's the one that's like, "I want a normal family life. I want to exist in the real world with you. I want to go to movies. I want to raise
Yeah.
kids. I want to go to shows." Like, I feel like he is literally showing up and saying all the things that she supposedly is saying she wants to hear.
Yeah, which also begs the question, is Jen really ready for all of this? Because it doesn't feel like it in this moment. Watching her navigate overnights was really kind of eye-opening for me in terms of like where she's at. Just because it does feel like she's all over the place and I can't figure out why.
Well, even her response and conversation with Jonathan, I feel like you and I looked at each other and we were like, wait, what's going on?
Right, because that was like they were talking about, accepting themselves for who they are and what that means when you're raising kids and
Like what an interracial marriage would look like.
yeah. And I was like, this is so tender and so raw and sweet. And like,
He was being so earnest. I felt like she was eating it up.
and when he's like, I'm falling for you, wasn't she like, I'm falling for you too?
Yes.
So
So again, he got more validation than Devin, which was confusing to me.
right. Cause then, yeah, Devin first, we're like, whoa, Devin.
She didn't give Devin much validation at all.
No, she did not. And then Jonathan, I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's Jonathan. And then we get to Marcus. I'm like, definitely Marcus. And yeah, Devin, whoa.
So what do you think happens when he shows up? Do you think she's like, yeah, no, and he goes home?
Well, damn, that would be rough. That would be a bad decision. I mean, the reality of it is like, if, damn, I don't know. I feel like if that happens, Jen is not ready.
Well, the
be
two men
doing
that she
this.
has left are also not ready.
I know.
Jonathan and Marcus are not ready.
And yet she feels more comfortable and ready to be engaged to them than she does to the guy who's available.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I get it. You like who you like, but it does sort of seem like a little bit of maybe like a salmon flag on her part of like, girl, why are you really into the two guys who are not really ready or like available for this.
And I would maybe be understanding it a little bit more if I hadn't just thought that Devin was her front runner.
Hometowns, it was so abundantly clear to me that it's Devin.
That's
She's
what I'm
hanging
saying.
on him. She yeah.
How do we go from that to all of a sudden us being like, Devin's not it?
It's wild. Like, that is such a shift. I don't know. And of course, I was telling you before we started, I'm like, this is excellent. We get fantasy suites before the men tell all. I don't even have to watch the men tell all. And then, of course, the conclusion to all of this is on the fucking tell all, which is tonight.
It's the same thing with the stupid letter thing on Joey's season.
That's right, where we were all panicked that something horrible had happened. But no, Joey was just in his feelings.
Well, my issue is that they start the overnight episode with a preview of Devin going to her hotel room.
Right. We see Devin freaking out. He's spiraling.
Which to me means we get to see that in this episode. The same thing happened on Joey's season with the letter. They start the episode with the letter thing, and then they end the episode and it hasn't happened, and now we have to watch the tell-all.
Ugh. And the tell-all sucks.
It needs a different format.
It really, really does. I don't know. I guess the tell-all that I did enjoy was Gary.
Yeah, that was good because the women were amazing.
The women were amazing. Golden Bachelor, excellent tell-all. But like the rest of them, I'm forever just like lowercase t traumatized from everybody telling Shanae she looked like she was wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
You know, like they just get mean and they just yell at each other and I don't like it and I don't want to watch it. And now I have to because continuity. I guess I need to know how this concludes.
Okay, side note. I heard that Kelsey's dad is going to be on Joan's season.
He is.
Like as a contestant?
Yep, he is one of the men.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of weird. Feels a little incestuous, but
everyone loved him.
Yeah. What a guy. I mean, raising all those kids the way that he did, and they seemingly all are like very normal, loving people. Kelsey and Joey seem like by far one of the more normal couples that like I think they're gonna make it.
Knock on wood.
There's none around, but I will make it up later.
Yeah. I'm trying to be excited for Golden Bachelorette.
Ugh, I am not.
I'm concerned about the men's selection, and also I just want paradise. So I'm annoyed.
Give us paradise.
Why do I have to wait until 2025?
Yeah, I am not happy about that. I also just sort of hate as I'm getting older that when things are pushed off like a year or two and I'm just like, yep, it'll be here before I know it. And I kind of hate that because like I don't need shows to remind me how old I'm getting. Just give it to me now. It's annoying we didn't get it this season. They're going to ruin the format of the Golden Bachelor. They should have just let that be. I mean, I guess it's good we're getting the Golden Bachelorette. Okay, I'll let them have it. But like, do not make this a thing.
I also don't need another show with the same format.
No. And I think if they do this as a one-off, it'll be great. But they're not going to do it as a one-off. This is going to be like the standard now.
Okay, but next year, can they do like a 35 to 45-year-old bachelor and bachelorette?
I'll start writing letters now.
I'm okay with the spinoff if we can, what's the next variation?
Well, that would actually be fun to watch because that's, I don't know, maybe not the guys that we're coming across all over, but like, presumably at that age, people are going to be more willing to be engaged.
Yeah.
You're ready. You've lived life.
Yeah. You know what you want.
Absolutely. That could be very compelling, but it won't be as messy, right? Because people will just be like, yeah, go for it.
Or more messy.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, we'll pitch it. What do we call that? Millennial Bachelor?
Millennial Bachelor.
Bachelorette. Yeah.
I'm down.
I love it. Okay. Was there anything else from overnights?
Jonathan making a big deal about eating the donuts was annoying.
I'm so glad you're not over that because I'm not over that either.
You're in Hawaii on vacation with a girl you might be engaged to.
And you're going to be like, donuts.
Eat the fucking donuts.
Yeah, and like, don't even think twice about it. First off, malasadas are so good. And second, like, you're on vacation. Really? I hated that. I'm not really much of a sweets guy. Go home. You're not it either.
Jess is done with you.
Yeah, bye. I don't know. Those looked amazing.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to get to the juicier bit of things. That Love Island reunion.
Okay, you guys, I think I didn't like the reunion. I kind of just wanted to leave the cast in Fiji in my mind and pretend that they live there forever in this happy little Barbie universe where they always eat avocado toast and they're dressed beautifully and they have no jobs. And so I feel like my fantasy land has just been kind of shattered
Right. It was like just a balloon pop.
because now I feel like I don't like the cast as much.
Yeah, I kind of hated that too. I feel like I don't like the cast as much. And I also feel like the reunion wasn't very well structured.
No.
It was like low key to the point where I was like, am I really still watching this? Like, why do I need this unedited scene forever?
I'm going to give Julia and Callie some props because I listened to them talk about it, but I thought it was awkward that Ariana was sitting with everyone else and there was too many people.
Too many people.
And she was always having to turn and address people. And so too many people on stage. And also Ariana was just in the midst of them. There was no hierarchy of like who was talking to who, what was going on.
It made it a lot easier, I think, for people to talk over Ariana and made it more difficult for her to maintain control over the situation. Yeah, I agree. And like somebody on another podcast has pointed out, like invite people, but they can just sit in the audience. Everybody doesn't need to be on stage.
Yeah.
We know who the main Islanders were. Let's stick with that.
Yeah, or have like a segment with the Casa girls. Why were the Casa girls on and the guys not?
Because they all suck.
Oh,
none of them made it.
Sorry, these were the women that were chosen.
Yeah, because other like.
But wait, what's his face?
Kane.
Kane
got uninvited.
Because he was such a pain in the ass to production.
Yeah, and continued to badmouth production and then apparently made some really, I don't know, unconfirmed, but racist TikToks in an Asian restaurant.
Okay, well, I don't like Kane, so I'm not sad about it.
No, and also sort of just like all like his tattoos, everything kind of starts coming together with that. So
he has Asian tattoos.
Yeah, that are clearly not well done. Yeah, he's a problem. Anyway, right. Like they could have had a segment where they brought the Casa women out. And I actually felt like the Casa women, I ended up walking away from liking more.
Yeah, I agree.
How did that even happen? I was so team
Andrea.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that really quick?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So what did you think of the clip they showed?
I thought it was interesting. Leah definitely backseat would not be the word that I would use to describe that.
No.
And
I mean, Olivia was the leader.
Absolutely.
But she also wasn't taking a clear stance.
Serena and Kaylor were definitely
backseat.
Liv was kind of driving it forward. I feel like Leah fought really hard for Nicole to stay, but sort of from the angle almost of like so hard for Nicole, she was clearly going really hard against Andrea.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious. So when they voted with their hands, it seems like they voted Nicole to go, right?
No, they voted Andrea to go. And I think Liv was the only one who voted for Nicole to go, but because it was majority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the Andrea thing, I still understand a little bit. Like, I guess you could just play this either way. I feel like Leah does have deniability, but the whole reunion just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm less inclined to go with that. I think that Leah had a stronger hand than she was willing to admit.
What I didn't understand, and I think you're right, I didn't understand how we ended that scene watching everyone apologize to Leah.
Yeah.
Is that just because she has a massive following now? And so people are like, we need to align with Leah?
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell on that one. That was weird to me. And I've got to say, Leah came out I didn't feel as good about Leah still really riding high on Serena.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. She stands on business. Like, truly. I was shocked at the fervor with which Leah came after Andrea. And like, I do understand that Andrea talked a lot of shit, but like, I don't know. She's on here trying to make peace, but now, yeah, it just felt like too much.
Yeah.
Like, you've got 3 million followers. You've all already embarrassed her, shamed her. You've got
like,
the upper
you
hand.
won.
Yeah, you won. So clear. You don't need to be doing this. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, this is just too much. Now you're just being mean.
Well, and then she tries to say, like, I liked you. Like, we got along. Like, la, 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 la. And it's like, well, none of your actions are really showing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, so Nicole needs to have grace for Kendall, but you can't have grace for Andrea.
Ooh, that's a really good point.
You know, like, it just feels like they're willing to dole it out when it's their friends, but not when it's people that they need to like be accountable to and maybe a little bit more aware of. I did not like that. That really just viscerally, ugh.
Yeah, let's talk about the Nicole situation. So, what I understand is while in the hotel room before the show started, Kendall sent a video to someone.
From like a dating app.
Yes.
Yep. I don't know what the video was of. I refuse to participate in that, but it was some sort of like sexually explicit video.
Yes.
It was posted as revenge.
So, yes, Kendall is now a victim of revenge porn.
Horrific.
And he found out about it soon after getting his phone back.
Yeah, it sounds like that's like one of the first things he opened his phone to.
Which is really, really bad.
Fuck, I can't imagine.
And I do want to acknowledge that's a really stressful thing to have to face and communicate about. But I understand that instead of telling the truth to Nicole, he told her he sent the video to someone he had dated a while ago.
Yeah.
And he wasn't honest about the timing of the video and who it was sent to.
Yeah.
So Nicole, who comes from a lot of, dating trauma, is now trying to start a relationship with Kendall in the real world. And it starts out with him lying to her over something he didn't really need to lie about. I really think, because in some interviews I've heard Nicole speak in, she understands that he's struggling and he's been put in a terrible position. She does have empathy for him, and she does like acknowledge that she wants to be there for him and that all of that's really terrible. But she's also like, how am I supposed to trust him when our relationship is starting out like this?
Right. And I think it's worth noting that what he lied about, it wasn't somebody on a dating app right before they went into Casa or went into the island. It was, somebody from his past. Like, why lie about that? It just that doesn't make a whole lot of sense in that moment, especially because like, so what? You're single, you're horny, you're in this hotel room for God only knows how long.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is it a great look? No, but like, oh wow.
Also, you're single, like,
yeah,
whatever.
And as long as it wasn't like unsolicited, even if I don't even want to touch that, but like, still, that should have never happened to Kendall. And I don't think it changes the circumstances, whether it's somebody that he just met or if it was a long-term ex. Like, why lie about that? That doesn't. So the fact that was his initial reaction is concerning, and I think Nicole is right to feel like in a really intense moment, your knee-jerk reaction is to lie to me about something.
Well, then it also seems like Kendall hasn't really been checking in with her, and granted, I'm sure he is underwater dealing with all of the retributions of what has been put out there and whatnot.
Well, and then the silence from both of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an easy situation.
But I feel like when a woman says she needs some time, like, a woman never actually wants, like, space. Like, you still need to check in. You still need to show that you care. Even if it's in small, respectful ways, there are ways to show up that show someone that they are your priority, that you are thinking of them, that you're seeing if there's anything you can do to help them. And it doesn't sound like Kendall was really proactive in any kind of communication in that way.
No, and that can be really hard to navigate, but like, you have to show up and try. And it doesn't, well, clearly Nicole doesn't feel like he did.
No.
And it really sucks because it also feels like this conversation is just not one that I revel in. Like, this isn't the kind of fun drama that I want to hear about. I really feel horrible for Kendall. I really feel bad for Nicole. I think this is one of those classic two things are true. And it was really hard for me to listen to everybody jump so quickly to Kendall's defense with like no awareness for like, I don't know. I just didn't want them weighing in. I wish this had not been discussed on here. I didn't want them weighing in, and it made me mad that they did because they weren't capable of really grasping the situation in its entirety.
It made me really mad that Nicole felt so unsupported.
Yeah.
And you can like Kendall and still hold him accountable for not being honest.
And like honestly, I was really kind of shocked that Janae was worried that Nicole was going to be mad. And it's like, why would she be mad? What she's going to be mad about is all of you like also not checking in on her. Like if you need to all show up for Kendall, that's great. Show up for Kendall. He does need that. But you guys should also then be able to show up for her and
Exactly. You should show up for both of them.
and be able to recognize like this is a really hard situation for both of our friends. This sucks for both people. And it doesn't need to be a compare thing because they both need different things.
Just the narrative really reminded me of the piece of Scandival that's like, he said he's sorry.
Yes. And it's like, but
like, how many times do you have to say sorry? It's not like it was like murder.
Right. Suddenly we're like, well, but he didn't do that. And it's like, well, okay, this isn't the Olympics on worst crime committed. Like, get out of here. It was still a betrayal of trust in a relationship, and it does matter. And I think it especially matters even more so like, woo, you're coming out of this house. They weren't voted. They were the bottom couple.
Yeah.
Like, things were already going to be hard. And then for Kendall to just lie like that, I don't know. Like, it does warrant like some reflection and for him to really think about that. And it's not enough to say you're sorry. It's like, why? But like, really, let's talk about why you lied.
Yeah.
And that conversation does not need to happen publicly, but Nicole is right to be wary. And I really appreciate Serena coming in and being like, if a man lies.
Dude, clap. Yes, queen. God. Oh my God. I
know.
I was so grateful that after everyone was quiet with the bullshit, she was like, dude, if a man lies, he lies.
Yeah. Period. And she was right. She's like, if you want to give a second chance, that's up to you. But also, if you want to walk away from that because that's not what you're about, great, walk away.
Preach.
She's right to do that. God, I did come away loving Serena even more.
Oh my gosh. Serena and Cordell. He got his Cheez-It sponsor.
Oh my God. I was making fun of him. And then he rolls up with those Cheez-Its. I'm so excited for that man.
I love them.
Me too.
I hope they make it.
I do too.
Even though they're young.
God, they're young. Cordell's 22 and she's 24.
Yeah, they're real young.
I know. I think about being 22 and I'm like, oh my God, I was a baby.
What are we thinking about the Kayla and Aaron of it all?
Dude.
Can you believe that he waited until the reunion to tell her that he put his hands down Daniela's pants?
First off, poor fucking Kayla and poor Daniela. And of course the camera like pans to her face. It's like, okay, who let this man on stage? Get rid of him.
That's like a death sentence. Why would he do that?
I don't know. It was really, well, I mean, Kayla's question was like, what is wrong with you?
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, Aaron was so frustrating to me. He was like, well, my grandpa died. Listen, how do I say this? I've not been able to like really fully flesh out this thought, but it's been sitting with me. I just find it so frustrating when men like create all these problems. And then when like life actually gets hard as it does for all of us and things come up, they like fold. They can't handle it. They're just like, you can't hold me responsible for anything I did wrong because my grandpa died. And it's like, yeah, dude, it sucks your grandpa died. I'm really sorry you're sad. That is not a pass for being a shitbag person. And you were a shitbag person before your grandpa died.
Yeah.
Like, don't use that as an excuse. Then don't make problems for yourself. And I shouldn't call Aaron a shitbag person. Like, Rob was not wrong to defend his friend. Maybe Aaron's not a bad guy, but Aaron was really horrible to Kayla.
Yes.
I can't believe that. Her podcast tour has also been really confusing because they've also been together.
I think they only broke up like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know the timeline, but that was not the move to bust that out on stage.
Was that like a death wish? Was he just trying to like, this is the end of it? I'm just going to let it all out and then
go home to the UK and hopefully. Yeah, I have no idea.
Basement?
That was wild.
And Rob tried, but he still was like, what can you do? The guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I was really annoyed with Rob for a minute, and I was like, okay, Rob's right to defend his friend and like make it clear that Aaron's not like actually a horrible person. But like, I don't know, maybe he is. It's so hard to tell. Aaron's really fucked up.
I hope he learns.
I hope so too. He needs to go home, be off social media. Like, nobody send him shitty things. Just
Yeah.
let Aaron do Aaron.
I just really hope he learns.
Yeah, we cannot emphasize that enough.
Just learn from your mistakes, please. Please, please, please.
For fuck's sake. Yeah.
Because
Like,
it feels like he didn't learn
no,
on the
it
show.
didn't seem like that.
How much do we believe that Miguel and Leah are actually going to stay together?
They are pretty cute together.
No, they are cute together. That's not what I'm asking.
I mean, the likelihood of any of them staying together is somewhat slim, just given how young they are.
I'm praying for Kanae, okay?
Oh my God.
I think Kenny actually needs Janae to give him like structure and purpose in this life.
Yeah, well, she's older. And by older, I mean, so she's 27 and he's 24. So that skews older than I think everybody else. Because isn't Leah like 24 and Miguel's also like 22, 23?
Oh, I don't remember.
They're on the younger side. And I feel like Kanae like averages a little older. So there's also some possibility there.
I mean, I don't know how they're going to exist in the real world, but from what we've seen of their relationship dynamic, I do think they could be good for each other.
They are little freaks.
Yeah.
And they are so good together.
Yeah.
I know. Who saw that coming? Nobody. That was excellent. I love that.
On the one hand, I loved seeing Janae with her receipts. And on the other hand, I was like, girl, you do not need to insert yourself in all of these things.
Yeah, I good for her sticking up for her girls, but then also like, please don't. I do think she had some good questions. Like, again, I don't want this conversation to be happening on stage, but like, what could Kendall do to make things better?
Yeah.
Is like a valid question, but like, it's also really hard when you're put on the spot because it's just like, well, let me tell you the ways that Kendall can make this better. It's hard to like be like, well, because it's not one thing.
I will say it was very obvious to me that Nicole was not okay during that reunion.
No.
Like her body language, her face, like I could just tell she was barely hanging on.
Yeah. Well, and then they broke up.
Oh, they did?
Like 3 days later after the reunion aired.
So they're done?
They're done.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think that just happened like a couple days ago. It couldn't have been a couple. My days are all fucked up. I don't know what day or time it is, but it's been recently that came to light. I want to say it was like a day or two after the reunion.
Okay. My last question is, where are we next going to see Rob on television?
I watched him on a YouTube channel. It was basically like the YouTube version of Cribs.
No, I mean, like, what other reality TV shows could Rob go on?
Big Brother.
Is Rob smart enough?
You don't have to be smart to be on Big Brother.
You don't?
No. You watch this season?
Yeah, you're right.
It depends, right? Like if you get stuck in a house with really smart people, no. But if everybody's dumb, you're good. I don't know. I think people floated like Leah or Rob going on The Traitors. But you and I haven't watched that yet, so I don't know.
But we're going to cover it.
We are going to cover it. I'm excited.
Next season, guys.
Can I tell you something that I heard about it?
Yeah.
It's going to be the Sandoval show.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So he doesn't go home very quickly?
I don't know. That wasn't clear to me, but for the duration that he is there.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So just like,
wah, wah.
Be so ready.
Okay, but the rest of the cast is pretty good.
Isn't Gabby Windy on it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who I need back on my TV.
Isn't Taylor from Big Brother on it?
Is she? That would be excellent.
There's someone epic. No, it's not Taylor. There's another Big Brother person on there that I'm not remembering.
Xavier?
No.
Okay. I'll look it up.
It's, who was the older woman on Reindeer Games? She's a Big Brother icon.
Oh. I don't remember her name.
But do you know who I'm talking
Yep,
about?
I do.
I think it's her.
Oh, awesome.
But
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Man, the cast looked really good regardless. So minus Sandoval, but I guess that man's also going to be on our TV forever. I don't know. I don't know what Rob's going to go on to do. I love Ariana. I hope she continues to host Love Island.
So we might as well just talk about this. We have heard rumblings that Sheena and Lala might be moving to the Valley, or at least filming more scenes with the Valley.
Yes.
That makes me a little concerned. Like, I really wonder if Vanderpump's dead, because I think they would already be filming by now.
It is.
It's end of Love Island.
Yeah. Yeah. Ariana said that it hadn't been discussed yet.
It hadn't been discussed?
Well, remember, they took a hiatus and they normally film through the summer. And
yeah,
instead,
but they said they were going to start filming in fall, hypothetically.
well, give it time. You've got a month.
Well,
I know.
now that we're facing it, look, I do think the show should end. But now that we're actually saying the words like Vanderpump being over, like, I'm like, oh
no, you're like really feeling it.
I think I just needed to be more prepared. Like, I feel like that needs to be a formal announcement. I don't think it should just fizzle. Like, the fact that they didn't end the last season by being like, this is the end, I feel like there should be another season.
It was a pretty wild ending with Ariana walking out and
Yes.
just being like, I'm not filming with him.
I just feel like it needs to end formally. And it can't just be like, we shuffled things around and we're not doing it. Especially with how many, like, the ratings were good.
The ratings are the one thing that makes me think that it's going to continue. It might not get like a huge run, but like maybe we'll get 10 episodes or something.
Or can it be, like, if they're going to transition half the cast to the Valley and half the cast to whatever else, can this next season be like the transition season where it's like, this is the end?
Yeah, everybody's going their separate ways.
Yeah, and this is where you can see these people on Bravo.
That would be nice.
I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be some sort of fanfare to it.
I agree. The Valley will be excellent because Brittany filed for divorce today from A1 Jax Taylor.
Holy shit.
And they renamed the bar Brits.
They did?
There are photos of them like painting a sign and hanging it up, and then all of them wearing shirts that say Brits at Brits.
Oh my God, that is sweet victory.
Right? Yeah, it is going to be juicy, even if I have to put up with Sheena and Lala, which, Lord help me, I hope I do not. But
honestly, I think I can handle Lala and Sheena better in a different environment where they're not being terrible to Ariana.
Yeah, that was getting to be too much. They just didn't know how to be.
I feel like they were trying to keep the show alive to the detriment of a great person.
Yes. Yeah. I totally agree with that. It was just that's not enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, they were prioritizing their careers.
And expecting Ariana apparently to prioritize their careers as well.
Yes.
So wild.
Anything else?
Ariana looked fabulous.
Oh my God. She looks amazing.
So good, right?
Yeah. And I think she's back on Chicago for like a month.
Yeah, I think September is the last. She's there until September. So one more week.
Okay. Then maybe they film or maybe they don't.
Right, because now she'll be done.
Grant, our next bachelor, went to Something About Her.
He did?
Yeah.
Cute. I love
You
that.
guys, it's all connected.
Yeah. Right.
And I do recommend going and listening to him on Nick Viall's podcast because I really liked the interview and it made me like him more.
That's awesome because we have not gotten a lot of fanfare for him otherwise.
Yeah. And
says the person I'm on social media at all. But
I mean, I'm already excited about him, but I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It made me excited that he's our next bachelor.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think that'll be good. Paradise in 2025.
Ages away.
I'll be here before we know it. Hopefully all these shows don't come out in like January because, man, we're going to have a lot.
No,
Traitors, The Valley,
oh,
Bachelor
you're
in
right.
Paradise.
Yeah, you're right. We'll do our best, guys.
Yeah, we'll just quit our jobs and
Jess will drop out of school.
school. Yeah, I was like, I'll quit my program.
We need to start making some money on the podcast.
Please like, subscribe, recommend us, review us, anything you got.
You guys, we love this. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, this was great.
Okay, love you.
Bye.
Bye. Drama Bonded is produced and hosted by Mandy Booth and Jessica Brumbaugh. Graphic designer is Pigeon House. Thank you.